Is up, everybody? This is Keith Jamison, go by Gay Guy 31 across the DFS industry, and we are back for another EPL slate. Hope you all had a good midweek, not only of Champions League, but a great day with your friends and family for Thanksgiving. We have a 3-gamer coming up on Saturday, and it's kind of, I think it was like last weekend or the weekend before, a joke that, we hadn't had one of these games with like 2 clunkers and then 1 big favorite for a while. Well, it's back. So this is kind of typical EPL, I feel like. So we'll attack it. Liverpool is the biggest favorite. They're minus 345 at home to Southampton. We got Palace plus 120. So slight favorite at home, hosting Villa 2.25. And then Wolves, a slight favorite on the road to a now surging 2-game in a row winning Norwich plus 115 and 2.25 total. So 2 games with really low totals. And then Liverpool. So you're going to see a lot of those on the sheet. So just a quick reminder, though, before I get into the picks, to like, subscribe, and comment to this video on the Mayo Media Network. Just first off, just thank you, Pat, and the entire team continuously for giving soccer a chance to shine on the network. I hope you all enjoy the game as much as I do. If you are on the pod feed, make sure you subscribe to Daily Fantasy Picks and Bets to Mix, so you can get all the great content there as well. And then finally, if you still want more of my content, I'll be shooting a longer version of this where I rant and ramble more on our channel, FSI on YouTube, or you can find me on Twitter at GatorGuy231. All right, let's just get right into it. Top of the scoring chart on the pricing chart on my list is not Mo Salah, just because I think bidding Mo Salah on this slate, it's really tough. If you can do it, like you should. I think he's, arguably the best play on the slate. Just at a $2,200 discount, I'm going to take Sadio Mane over Salah any day. Realistically, you only get a slight drop-off in goal-scoring odds. Now, Salah has PKs, and Salah is one of the most informed players in the world, but just in a bubble. So if we take all previous performances out, you even look at like stats over a 2-year span, Mane is not far behind, gives you similar type of floor, and gives you a huge $22 discount, which can be spent very well here, because if you notice on the sheet, the second pick is Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's also on the cover of this video, because I think you just have to play Trent Alexander-Arnold. He has the most, or I was like, wrong way to say it, but like he has the highest floor in all of the EPL. At this point, I don't even think it's close. Like, I'm trying to think through my head. Grealish isn't at Villa anymore. We aren't seeing the same Kevin De Bruyne. There's nobody else like Trent Alexander-Arnold. So, not to steal down too, I guess I'm doing 2 picks in 1 right now. But if you play Sadio Mane as your Liverpool forward, you can still get Trent and you can still balance out a lineup pretty well. But if all of a sudden you go to Salah, you're going to bring on punt territory. You're going to bring on guys that don't have a floor, don't have set pieces, or something along those lines. So if you can get it, great. My research and my preliminary building is playing it's playing Sadio Mane. And again, why are we trying to at least get 1 Liverpool forward? Minus 345 favorites. So almost 4 times the favorite of anybody else here, in the only game with a total around 3. So if we're looking for goals, right? Because ultimately you do need goals in DFS soccer to achieve at least tournament wins. Now in cash, I think the problem at forward spot is there's just not the set taking forwards that we want to see, like we get on some slates. Like if this was a slate that had, some like Dwight McNeil's, or I'm trying to think of other set taking forwards off the, Phil Foden. If we had other options, I'd be a lot more inclined to listen to them versus just jamming in a Liverpool guy that maybe is a little goal dependent. This is not what we have. So Sadio Mane, that would be my preferred forward one. Trent Alexander-Arnold, I've already talked to. Just a quick little numbers on Trent. 1 game, 1 under DK all this year, and it was 8.6 DK. You're averaging almost 22 DK. You're probably averaging, I didn't do the numbers, but you're averaging probably 13, 14 floor without the assist. And then just factor in the fact that so many of his crosses are so accurate that they're finding feet and they're giving great goal scoring opportunities. So Trent Alexander-Arnold, just a lock and load. 9,200 is the highest we've seen him. It's still underpriced. He probably, DK, don't listen, probably should be over 10,000. Next on the list is Diogo Jota. Pretty much the same argument as Mane, getting a Liverpool forward as one of your two. Diogo Jota, because he plays centrally, plays as the striker, there is some interchanging, but he is more central, has less floor than Mane or Salah, less chance to draw fouls out wide, taking on guys, less chances to cross the ball in the box. Mane is actually the biggest crosser of the bunch, but Diogo Jota definitely in play. Milo Rashica is the only set-taking forward. Actually, I guess Leon Bailey is too, but I'm not a big fan of Leon Bailey. But Milo Rashica is my favorite. How about we say it that way? Set-taking forward on this slate. He should be splitting or at least getting some shares with Billy Gilmore. Milo Rashica, it's just a really solid floor when in. This is not a game I'm scared of. Despite Norwich being a dog, they are at home, which is a big thing at Carriage Road. And Wolves is a team, especially if Wolves get its ahead, they don't mind kind of bunkering back. Wolves have been very friendly at giving up crosses and giving up DFS production. So I think Milo Rashica at sub 7,000 gives you a floor. So at least we have one spot, right? Where you have like a Mane, a Salah, a Jota, or maybe you go like a Palace guy up there, like a Zaha or Benteke, something like that, right? So you have one forward position that's a little bit more risk, but then you have your other one where you're getting floor with like Rashica. That's what I really like to attack in optimal in cash. Ryan Out-Nuri, we brought him up last week, absolutely exploded with 22 DK last weekend. He's taking a majority of set pieces, splitting a little bit with John Matinho. That's just really made John Matinho, despite him being very cheap, still not like a lock and load, because Ryan Out-Nuri has really cut in that set split. He also plays wing back, gets in a lot of crossing situations. 6,000, slight favor on the road to Norwich, who I just said Wolves can be kind of forgiving to crosses. Norwich definitely is. So Norwich scoring a lot of goals. Dean Smith hasn't had a chance to impose his new system just yet. Ryan Out-Nuri at 6,000 is a little underpriced. Do like him. Daniel Podence, if you don't want to go all the way up to Mane, or if let's say that you're, or like Salah, if you can get there, and let's say that, you're not a huge fan of Rashica, or we don't see Rashica, Daniel Podence, 5,900, started last weekend. Daniel Podence, a really, really good player, had an assist, and a sub 6,000 for a forward eligible guy. A little bit of a floor, has taken set pieces in the past. I don't see him taking them over Out-Nuri or over João Moutinho unless both of them are out. But Daniel Podence, give you 80 minutes, run at guys, take some shots. He had 2 shots on goal last weekend. I think that makes a lot of sense at sub 6,000 as a slight favorite. Andy Robertson, if in split sets with Trent Alexander-Arnold, 5,500 is actually a really good deal for Robertson. Yes, he crosses much less than Trent Alexander-Arnold, but it's a chance of getting sets at 5,500, crossing fullback for the biggest favorite on the slate. It's kind of a straightforward move. Matt Target, 4,700, took a majority of Villa sets last weekend. He's sub 5,000 for a set taker. Anytime we're talking about sub 5,000 for a set taker that plays wide, right? So he's a fullback, gets out wide. That's very much on the short list. Billy Gilmore, 47. Guess what? Another set taker. Billy Gilmore, on loan from Chelsea, one of the more promising young players in the world. You're going to hear that name for years upon years to come. Dean Smith even had him playing a little bit more of an attacking role with Norman behind him, which would be really nice. Billy Gilmore, one of the arguments is always with Gilmore, even when he's like 3,800, is okay. Yes, he has set pieces, but he's going to play so deep. Like I've talked about this a lot on this video and on my channel, but it's like you're one out. If you have a guy that's super, super deep, these defensive midfielders, right? I'm going to have one right behind you, Billy Gilmore here with Milosevic, but your DFS production is all set pieces. If all of a sudden they don't have sets or the team isn't getting corners, you go, what am I drawing to? Like, he's never going to get a chance to shoot. So I'm getting like 2 crosses, hoping for a shot assist, hoping for a foul as a drawing. Come on, tackles. Oh, that's an interception. Opto, why aren't you putting an interception there, right? You just draw on so little amount of DFS production. So those are scarier plays. That's why they need to be really cheap to target them. But if all of a sudden Gilmore's going to be playing as more like an 8 or 10, having more freedom to move forward, all of a sudden we have more DFS production. We have more opportunities to get production. So Billy Gilmore, 4,700, I like. Final guy on the list. Yes, I skipped over John Moutinho. I'm going to have to think long and hard about Moutinho, but I have. 4,300 is a decent price, coming up one of his better games. But and I'm going to skip right down to Luka Modrić, home favorite. He's my only Palace guy on this list, but Palace is actually a decent favorite, plus 120. That's not like plus 170, plus 120. So we have a little bit, Palace is playing really good football under Vieira, and, especially at home at Selhurst. Palace is always a really difficult team, even for the big teams. Luka Modrić came back this weekend or past weekend, took sets, jumped right back over Conor Gallagher, 3,900 set piece taking. We know he doesn't take PKs anymore. We've seen Will Zaha take PKs over Modrić, so that's no longer an out. That used to be awesome, right? I talk about outs. Modrić used to, he sat deep, but you always go, man, if Zaha draws a PK, Modrić is going to take it. He's not there anymore. But it's sub 4,000, set piece taking, midfielder, just kind of punt and go. If you get 5 to 60K out of that type of player, you just got to be happy. Anything more is a bonus. All right. There's 10 picks, 3 games. Should be a fun slate. There's definitely a lot of ways to build around. I'll see this to do with this. I know I didn't put on Salah on the list, but if you can get to Salah and you can feel good about the rest of your lineup, go for it. Just for me, I think that $2,200 discount off of Salah to Mane, is enough to make Mane, in my opinion, slightly the better play. All right. Good luck, everybody. Thank you again for watching. Again, if you want to find more of my content, check out FSI on YouTube. Fantasy Sports Insight is what FSI stands for. You can find me at GatorGuy231 on Twitter. And finally, make sure you give Pat and the team at the Man Made Network a subscribe. Amazing content all throughout the week. Can always fill out, your car rides or just any downtime with great content from all the contributors at the network. Thank you all for watching. With that, I'll say, see you.